Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review for Real Housewives of Potomac season something, episode something. We at the reunion, y'all. What is it? 18, part 2 of the reunion. Uncensored, because I watched it on Peacock. Now, I'm not sure what scenes were added in, what scenes didn't make it to the television cut. But here we go. I just wanted so much more. I feel like this light is like right at me. I just wanted so much more from the reunion. It's like Andy, I'm tired of Andy as a host. I don't want Andy hosting the Black Girls reunions no more. I don't want him to. It ain't even got to do with race. I'll give it this. If the show is more than 5-6 seasons long, I don't want Andy hosting a reunion because he has his favorites. He be extra tired of people by then, and it's like you rushing conversations along that we need to have. Like, I get it. You got a list of topics that you need to hit, and y'all already filming for 12 hours or whatever this reunion. But a couple of conversations that he was trying to rush by, I'm like, whoa. The listeners, the viewers do need these questions answered. A couple of them, I was like, yeah, move along. They ain't talking about nothing. But we'll get there. Take me a sip. Y'all, I'm on this drink kick. Well, like, I'm just, you see, I done bought the little plastic travel cups and stuff because I have reusable, like hard plastic washable ones, but sometimes I be needing one like every day or 2 times a day because the first one will be protein, so that's too chalky. You can't put nothing behind protein. Something like this, a little refresher. I can put something else in this cup and be fine. But yeah, this is like an energy drink with some coconut water, some sparkling water, just move energy, and a splash of sweet tea and some Jordan Skinny hydration. I be mixing my little stuff up, y'all. Let's get into it. We start with where we left off on the first one. Wendy's like, you don't filling your accomplishments because you don't have none. Bullshit, bitch. I do have some. Oh, well, I got one security number. Oh, so do I. No, it's actually like 6, 7. That's what it said, right? 6, 7. Wendy said, no, it didn't. It never said. Wendy ate. Ashley nibbled. She got her a little 1-2 in because Wendy tore her up with that. Because you don't have no accomplishments. And Ashley didn't list no accomplishments. She didn't list no accomplishments. So, I mean, somebody said Ashley went to school. Did Ashley go to school? I don't ever hear her talk about, oh, I got my degree in such and such, so that's why I want to do such and such. Or, oh, I went to school for such and such, and that's why I met such and such. Like, Ashley never has that story. Only backstory, only pre-Michael story we have of Ashley is that she worked at that bar. We knew about the bar because she had her kitty party. Remember when she had that party where she had everybody dressed up in like cheetah or whatever, leopard print cat theme. And Katie was like blitzed out of her mind. And when Michael brought that car up, Katie jumped in the driver's seat. So that was the club. I remember she said she liked the club because that's where she met Michael. She was a bottom girl or whatever. He was a regular. And then this season we hear that Angel, she was like, oh yeah, I know Ashley. She used to be a bottom girl in my club. And it's that same club. That is all we know of Ashley. I ain't never heard them talk about she been to nobody's school, nobody's major, nobody's degree. So not to say that that's the only accomplishments you could have. Like, Did you buy your house? Did you start a business? I mean, GNA is a piece. It's a piece of an accomplishment, but I mean, I'm gonna take that back. GNA is an accomplishment because even though they flopped as a retail business, they raised money for charity. They raised money for charity. So that's an accomplishment because y'all are helping the people. Y'all are helping the people. But past that, 6'7". Ashley, did your children give you that read? Did your children give you that read? Because I don't even know what 6'7" mean. I just know my baby, my 4-year-old, be home. Mom, 6'7". That's what my friend said at school. That's what my friend said at school. And I'm like, sure. Sure. But I mean, Ashley is on one side trying to apologize to, not necessarily apologize, but say that she didn't mean it. She didn't mean to be mean about the Zen winners going to the pen. She didn't think it was serious. But on the other hand, you're giving all these reasons about why you would come at Wendy. Okay, so you meant it. So this isn't genuine. Okay, let's just, they say that Ashley is meaner this season. And she says that they had tougher skin back in the day. Who? I'm an owl. Who? I had to really sit and think deep. They played some little clips. They played some little flashbacks. I don't necessarily think that they had tougher skin back in the day. I think at that point, like the previous seasons, things about the ladies that has changed. They can laugh at themselves. Angel don't know how to laugh at herself, so it does look a little different. And Stacey had to kind of learn how to roll with the punches in a way that would be fitting for this group. You know what I mean? They didn't like they communicate differently than the arguing that the ladies do. So I don't think it's that they had tougher skin, because I'm like, baby, as I recall, every time Candace opened her mouth, y'all was crying and running to HR. That ain't no tough skin, honey. That ain't no tough skin. What are we talking about right now? What are we even talking about? So now they still on Ashley in this hot box. No, we're going to start on Ashley in this hot box. They show Ashley's little package. It's just about her and men, her exploiting the family for a storyline, okay? They asked Ashley if she got $20 million once the divorce was finally settled. She said no, and she said she learned in this group that she would never talk about her money. She'll never talk about the amount of money she has. And I'm like, it's best. But I think when they flashed the papers on the screen when she first talked about it, I think it said something like $3 mil. Hey, $3 mil, and you getting at least 750 a year here. Ashley done stepped them fashions and them hair and them looks up, and we can tell she got a little coin for Michael. So they asked her about Josh. She's back with Josh, y'all. Stacey's like, you humiliated him on camera for fun. And then Ashley tells how they actually broke up 2 days before that. But then the next day he wanted to talk to her, and she said, no, if we have a conversation, it has to be on camera. It has to be on camera. And that's when they did the arcade date, and she broke up with him on there. I was like, why did it have to be on camera? I was confused at that. I was confused. So still on to Ashley's hot box. Now we're going to talk about Jackson. She holds true that Sharice always made jokes about her, about Ashley getting with Jackson, being her daughter-in-law, yada, yada, yada. So because of that, she didn't really think it was a big deal to, be with your co-worker's son. She joked about it all the time. I don't understand. But yeah, now Ashley's claiming that her interactions with Jackson never went past a kiss. They're all looking like, girl, but you said it did. You were on Watch What Happens Live and this interview and this platform saying that y'all went past a kiss. And she's just like, I'm like, girl, you literally said that you thought that Sharice knew that you was screwing her son because you thought that she saw you on the security cameras because you always was sneaking in and out her house to smash her son. Ashley is a nut. You could tell Andy was genuinely annoyed because Andy was like, not you wasting my time with some lies. Oh, Watch What Happens Live with some, Andy looks annoyed. Give her that Robin treatment and go sit her down somewhere. Go sit her down. Ashley's thirsty enough that she ain't gonna be like Robin. Robin said, oh, you'll never film a follicle of my hair again. She ain't even show up to her own damn event. Ashley, she'll beg, she'll chase around, she'll be standing right next to Cookie behind the cameras trying to get mic'd. Sit her down. Sit her down. Let her work for that chick. Let her work for that spot. All these girls on here, this is the Hunger Games. And Ashley, we might have to sacrifice you. I would love it. And the way Andy is annoyed between her saying that she lied on Watch What Happens Live and with the whole Mauricio thing, Ashley might have to get sat down for a minute. She kicking up too much dust, okay? So they asked her about her mom. He's like, how's your mom? I gotta do my Andy. Let me get a paper. How's your mom and your stepdad doing, Ashley? Let's not do stepdad. No, thank you. I wouldn't go that far. But, you know, I can't answer that question. You know, he's out of rehab and... I said, who was it, your mom or your sister told you to stop exploiting them and their family for TV? I said, good, because she needs to come up with her own stuff to talk about. And then, what happens next? Somehow we're talking about Ashley dating, who she dated. We talk about the Mauricio thing. Stacey, you know, was a good wing woman. It's so funny to me how Ashley catching flack for the whole Mauricio thing when Giselle straight up said, yeah, I would screw him. No, I spent some time with him laying down, but that's my homegirl ex. Ain't nobody gonna check Giselle? Cause that's a calling card. That's saying, I can keep a secret if you get him Mauricio. Like, girl, craziness. Then, while we're talking about Ashley and Giselle in the same dating space, Ashley was like, she was dating a congressman. Stacey is appalled and says she is a liar because what type of politician would want to be tied to that type of girl? I said, oop, okay. And Giselle's lame self gonna say, oh, I thought you were talking about me. I thought you were talking about me. I dated the congressman too. I dated the congressman too. And somebody was like, Giselle, I think it was Jassy or somebody. No, Kay or somebody, I don't know. Giselle, you have such an amazing dating life. Why is it never on camera? Andy was like, questions that need answers, okay? Andy's getting annoyed by production pets, okay? He's annoyed. So she claims it was after filming stopped. Okay, girl, save your check, save your job. Ashley pulls out a children's book and says that she wrote a children's book based on Dean and Dylan or something. It was very inclusive. She had, you know, all the colors of the rainbow and a disabled child pictured in the book. And I just want Ashley to know that who buying this? Who this for? No, who this for? Because I don't want no book by Ashley Darby. Are you trying to, I feel like you're trying to coach the kids into being groomed or something. Girl, I don't trust nothing. Next is Kiana's package, y'all. Andy introduces it like, let's get on to my man, my condo, my things. I said, Lord Jesus Christ. He asks if she's engaged now, okay? And she dramatically reaches behind her and pulls out her picture frame. I said, Kiana, get your lame ass off the stage. I was over it. I want her gone. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how T the body is. I don't care. She is lame. She's lame and aggressive, and it serves no purpose. It don't. Like, we never see fun moments. Not to say that she don't have them, but you have so many bad moments that we can completely bury the good ones and make this your edit. Like, can we name 3 times we've seen Kiana smiling this season? When she thought she was about to get a ring is she pulls out that picture frame and they are all looking at her with disgust, like I am, basically. Like, girl, why are you being this lame? Because it's super duper lame. Andy asked Wendy how she feel about the picture frame. She said, if she like it, I love it. He asked Giselle if she still feels like that Greg won't propose because the old auntie said she gave up her power. Giselle like, that's what the auntie said. That's all I know in life. Kiana said, yeah, I understand. That's what that generation feels. She said, oh, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Oh, don't worry about me. We get a listener question. Why do you want a condo over commitment? Are you just trying to be a sugar baby? And poor Angel. Angel jumps in to defend her friend. Let me just say this. She is not a sugar baby, okay? She has always, well, actually, I can speak for myself. Thank you. Yes, I can speak for myself. I said, but you just check the girl right here at the reunion. And Angel, I said, girl, blink twice if you need help. Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Angel come back next season if we can get rid of Kiana. She needs her ties to the group to disappear. I want to see Angel really forge a relationship with Ashley, really forge a relationship with Wendy. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how she works with Karen, giving her some game on how to maneuver in this group without Kiana's influence. Completely remove Kay's influence, because I hope Angel watches this back and she really puts the tallies on the board of how many times Kiana played in her face and how many times she was chin-checked by her best friend and linked to this group. How many times she let Kiana's feelings and words influence how she treat the other ladies. I want her to sit down. Bobby, did you watch the season? Bobby, you sit her down and you show her all those tally marks of Kiana playing in her face. Because it is very upsetting that she is still jumping out there to defend her, doing this, doing that. If Kiana say, well, I was talking, okay, I'm going to let you finish. And it's like, Angel, when you first came on the season, you was doing all that big bad. Oh, if it's gonna be some chin checking, I'm gonna be the one doing the chin checking. When you was talking to Bobby, but when you hear, you just like, oh, I'm so sorry, Kiana. I'm so sorry. What is happening here? I was just very thrown off by that. So now we get to Kay and Wendy in this gosh darn speaking event. I said, oh, Lord. Because I honestly couldn't even remember why Kiana and Wendy were beefing. I really couldn't. Half these beefs, I don't know where they started from. It's definitely giving, I was told not to like you, or I saw you getting too close to somebody. It's just always like a retaliation to some stupid stuff. So ridiculous. So they get to talking about the event. Remember, Kay's problem with Wendy at the event is when she saw her, she didn't immediately speak to her because Wendy was on stage speaking. Wendy was just like, girl, I was on stage speaking. But now Wendy is like, girl, when I got off the stage, I came right over and gave you a hug. My friend sent me this picture and said I should have took video because when I saw y'all, it was all love and y'all hugged and sent the picture. And we see Wendy two-arm hugging, that boob-to-boob embrace I be telling y'all about, like, oh, my good girlfriend here. So, Kay, what's the problem? Kay pulls out a picture. This is the room. This is the room. Everybody sitting there like, I don't understand. It's a picture of y'all hugging in that room. Yeah, it looks like the same room. This is the room. The room is small. It's small. She saw me. Yeah, she saw you. That's why she came right off the stage and came and gave you a hug. Like, what are we talking about? Get Kay out of here. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care no more. That carried her through a little bit of this season. The mug carried her through a good bit of this season. How fine ass brother. There are other fine people in this world. Go find some of them because I can't deal with this type of lameness. It is just, it disgusts me. It disgusts me that she really pulled out a picture of the room, and her argument is now that, oh, Wendy got proof that she approached me and gave me a hug. Will I still say she should have talked to me while she was on the stage? Because the room was this small. Kiana, go play with Greg. Go beg Greg. Go run after Greg. Because this ain't it. This ain't it. Now, Kay, what is your problem with Stacy? Stacy's just like, oh my gosh, she's been so aggressive. And she's like, no, you're a black Karen. You're a black Karen. And basically, they corner Stacy into walking that aggressive word back because colorism? I don't know, because you're not supposed to put that type of label on black women. So she apologizes for that. But I'm like, I wouldn't apologize for nothing because you was in her face screaming, yelling. And when she said something about fighting, you like, oh yeah, bitch, I fight. I fight. You know I fight. So girl, that's aggressive. Like, it's literally the definition of. So I wouldn't have apologized for a dang on thing. Okay. Jessie comes out in a Melina Thaxton original. Who is Melina Thaxton, you ask? My 4-year-old daughter. My 4-year-old daughter, because she was a flower girl last year, right? So she still had her flower girl basket and her rose petals. I done told y'all she likes to cut up the Barbie clothes and redesign them and all that stuff. And literally one day she was gluing the rose petals on top of my old generation doll's cut up bodycon dress. And I'm like, when I saw Jassie's dress, I said, wow. Melina's creation. I said, Melina, you like that? She said, oh, did I make it? Did I make that one? I said, you sure did, baby. You sure did. All these roses dramatically just falling all over this dress. That is absolutely something you did, my dear. Take a bow. They show Jassie's package and why you so obsessed with me? Wendy wanna know. It was kind of weird because it's like 75% of Jassie's package was her beefing with Wendy or arguing with Wendy or just, you know, it was a lot of Wendy. Wendy leans over to Giselle and said, is this my package or hers? I said, legit. It was weird. Jassie, how you doing? 6 months married. Darius play for the Patriots. No, I ain't met Cardi B yet. Where are Kay and Jassie? Where do you guys stand now? Kay, I didn't recognize her because Jassie was like, we stand nowhere because when she saw me in the airport yesterday, she did not speak. I didn't recognize her. And that's how Kiana's doing. I didn't recognize her. I didn't recognize her. Like, just being a real girl. And she was like, I was with Ashley, and Ashley was like, she gave her a hug and was like, oh, and I said, oh, that's Jessie. And Andy says, so you did recognize her. So you did see her. And Jessie's still over there speaking. Girl, you got 15 minutes. Don't waste it on me. Don't waste your 15 minutes on me. I said, girl, and you got 30. You can get to packing right with her. Both of y'all can exit stage left, okay? And take forehead with you. And make sure you keep pyramids back there with you, too. What Mariah said, just get away from me with this, Apollo. Kay and Jessie, they over talking each other. They're arguing. Somehow, Jessie says to Kay, well, let's talk about how you stole Greg from his first wife. Everybody's gagged. Everybody's gagged. They're arguing. They start talking about, they start arguing. They stopped moving away from addressing what the argument was, because I think Kay called Jessie cheap looking. Jessie said, this is custom. Kay got to stand up. Well, this is custom. I'm like, please take the both of them. Take them away. Guard. She's right there. And the other one's right there. Please. Take them away. Andy's like, okay, guys, let's move on. And I'm like, no, we don't need to move on. We need to get back to the point. We don't need to move on from this. We need to get to the point, because now that I think about it, was Andy rushing all the people he don't want to see back next year? And that's why he don't need to host these reunions. That's why he don't need to host his reunions. His bias comes through. He needs to have a rotation of media personalities. Get Funky Dineva, get Dustin Ross, get Bondi Blue, get some of these people that's been watching the show, know the history, know what's going on, but not having an inherent bias when they sit up there and conduct this reunion. We just need somebody else. We need somebody else, seriously. Now we get to Jessie and Tia, y'all. Gosh darn. Jessie and Tia, this was a whole nothing burger, so we'll get by it fast. Andy says, oh, let's talk about y'all two. Hope she ain't got no fork in her hand, because they still talking about, well, they're bringing up how Tia made the joke that Mr. Sunshine, the restaurant owner, liked Jessie, and Jessie she went berserk. Like Tia said, she was about to sleep with that man. Oh my gosh, she has anger issues. Cracked me up, I'm not gonna lie. Because Jessie was doing too much. It's 14 days before my wedding, and you want to tell me that this man likes me? Girl, that man is old enough to be your daddy. We not expecting you to leave your man and go be with Mr. Sunshine. Like, why are we doing this? Child, all that daggone yelling. I'm so special, y'all. I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm looking down a lot. That's because I usually put it up on a book stand or be having it on the big screen, y'all. And I just didn't. I was too worried about getting this new light up here. And I really need to put some more light bulbs up here. I need to change out one of them light bulbs. So, yes, child. Hope she ain't got no fork in her hand. Tia claims that they had cleared the air after the comment because she started. She was upset. So she was really, really confused on why she got screaming when they get back on camera. And she brings this up again. And I said, because she needed a moment. Jessie needed a moment. Now they get to talking about husbands and they dissing husbands. Tia said that Darius was broke and had to take out $150,000 for the house and some clothes. They talk about Stacey going to Jessie wedding. Stacey said she only brought that up because, the last 15 minutes of filming, because she wanted the moment. I said, I completely agree. Completely agree. It was dumb. Y'all been on this trip this whole weekend and you had time to it was stupid. Stacey, Stacey says that their friendship was damaged after she realized Jassy was recording calls. And then she warns the other ladies, you know, watch out, she be recording calls. Andy like, has anybody else experienced Jassy recording your phone calls? Angel, Kay, and Wendy all say yes. Monique comes out looking like a Mortal Kombat character. I was over it. She got the original binder. They have a little giggle about it. Still all the original tabs, original tea and all. Giselle's tab says the last lady instead of the first lady. She says that she got a cease and desist from her ex-husband. Jassy gonna say, oh wow, it's all Cece's fault. I screamed. I screamed. I did a Wendy scream. Jassy, what is your problem? Get her out of here. Get her out of here. She said it's all Stacey's fault. And I'm just like, no, it's not. Because when nobody wants to say or talk about or show, because they might be having these conversations and then just for editing's sake, they leave it on the cutting room floor. Everybody and their mama can see that it was Kiana that called Cookie, and Cookie told Chris about what the conversation was. Like, it's just right there. It's right there, but we can't address it. We still have to act like Stacey ran back this information to Chris. And the thing is, even if Stacey ran it back, Monique, you were way too eager to try to force forward. Oh my gosh, look, you guys, I'm such a changed person. Look at what I've realized about myself and what I want to be open about now. She just, that information, when they did the Pride event and they was sitting at that restaurant after, the way she volunteered all of that information like that on camera, Chris would be a fool not to send her something. Girl, I'm not mad at Chris one bit because she was doing too much. It's one thing to write about it in your book. That's cool. That's your book. That's your biography. That's your memoir, whatever you want to call it. But to just up and volunteer this information on TV in front of mixed company in public. And then be like, well, who told him? Girl, production could have told him. Now who you mad at? Like, what? It was crazy to me. So Andy tells Monique that she looks lighter now. She's like, yeah, I've lost 350 pounds. I'm like, ugh, lame. Girl, okay. All right. Giselle says that she loved when they went out to lunch together. And they could have been cool back in the day if they just talked. I said, or if you stop trying to haze her at every turn. Because we all know Giselle ain't finna deal with no pretty girl that's married and got a house bigger than hers. She ain't gonna deal with it. She gonna try to chomp you down the sides in some way, somehow. When she first plotted with Monique, you don't have a home. You're looking for a home in Potomac. You don't have a home. I have 4 homes. We're just looking for one in Potomac. I said, ooh. And you've been on her neck ever since. Well, not now this season, but you were. Even came in that girl house being disrespectful. Oh, let me wait till little Miss Talk a Lot leave. Girl, this is my house. Get out. So Giselle, she tried. She tried a whole lot to kiss up and be up your butt. When she fought Candace, it really should have been you for multiple reasons. One, you were the one that started the rumor about, well, in the group. They said the ex-friend Gigi is the one that said it, that the baby wasn't Chris's. But Giselle, you're the one that brought it to the group, trying to use it as damage. Candace's flaw, I think, if I remember correctly, was that she didn't tell Monique that they had that conversation. She's trying to shut it down in the moment, like, girl, ain't nobody gonna believe that baby is Chris's. Like, stop that. So she didn't run it back. So you more mad at Candace for not running it back to you, even though she shut it down. More mad at her than you are Giselle for starting it. It's giving Angel and Catfish. It's giving Angel and Catfish. And I hate to say it, but it's like, ugh. Oh. Okay, so Giselle just really, and it should have been Giselle, they got popped, because Giselle is the one that really popped off the fight, because when they was in each other's face and she kept flipping her hair, you want me to drag you? You want me to drag you? Giselle pushed them both, and they don't know who pushing them set them off the fight. Giselle should have been the one that got popped, but sure, Giselle, let's talk about how you and her would have been such good friends, even though you were so envious, everything about her. So it's blowing me with all the revisionist history. Now they bring up Monique comments about Bobby and Angel's marriage. Angel said that Bobby was thrown off by that because he thought that they had a good rapport the way she came in his house. Oh, you remember me? I'm Monique Samuels. Yeah, my husband. Yeah. Chris Samuels. Yeah. Just for you to go back and be like, yeah, I think he's just like my ex-girl. I think she going through the same thing. And then she was like, yeah, he's clearly mad at me because when I saw him, he didn't speak. And that was rude. I'm like, girl, are you okay? Yes, it was rude, but you know what's even more so rude? You accusing him of being a terrible husband to his wife. You don't know nothing about them people. And you doing this constantly. You doing this in front of the camera. That was my thing about it. It wasn't when she tried to act like she was genuinely concerned and she was going to have a conversation with her about it herself. Girl, we done seen you say it at least 3 times on the camera. When was you going to tell her how you felt? So, yeah, Monique convinced me with that Bobby was being rude. You were being rude first. If he want to be petty and not speak to you, that is his right. He don't owe you a hello. Okay? He don't owe you a hello. So she's trying to make it like, oh, I wasn't really talking about Bobby in particular. I was just, just kind of talking about like NFL players altogether. Monique, just stop. Just stop. So she said, she was projecting. She don't say she was projecting, but we know she was projecting because once she saw how on the vacation, Angel was worried about the kids and worried about Bobby and this, that, and the third. And it seemed like Bobby wasn't helping out none and da-da-da-da-da. Tia and Kay chime in like, Bobby helped out with a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I can recall them saying Bobby made some breakfast for them when they was at the house, when they was on the trip. But at the same token, not saying that Monique is right. But yeah, Angel, this is still your fault because this is your piss poor planning. This coming back to add on to her dumpster fire of accusations and projections. So now, Stacey, did you really date Chris? Did you date Chris? That's what you told Ashley. Monique pulls out her phone with some tea on Stacey and Chris. And apparently, yeah, I told you how my notes be merging sometimes. Like if I update my notes on this device and I come back to another device, it still got pieces of the old notes in there. So I'm like, wait, that was the end of the episode. Why is all this stuff up under there? Because it's from last week's. But yes, y'all, we see that the cliffhanger is Monique showing her phone. She said, I know y'all ain't going to be able to see it, but y'all can see it. And we'll find out what that was next week. This episode was annoying, but I guess it was something to talk about. Let's give them something to talk about. Let's talk about mess. Until next time, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know if y'all are actually watching this reunion. I know some people only tune in for the reunion because the season be a mess, and I'm like, slick. So one last part of the reunion, and then we're gonna be packing Potomac up for a while. Married to Medicine gonna finish on out, and I'm guessing Atlanta should be coming springish. When they coming, y'all? We gonna see soon. Until next time, bye.